Good evening, everyone. This is going to be an angry rant, particularly an open letter rant to Sian Griffiths, the education editor at Times newspaper, mainly because she called Gillick Compentancy a loophole. For those who don't know, Gillick Compentancy is a piece of legislation that came out a while ago in order to give young people freedoms and confidentiality and privacy that protects them from any potential harm. So this particular article is about transition and gender transitioning, and in this article the Times and Sian are very much siding with the parents, calling that for advocating for really the new legislation that's going to come out soon from government that is going to say to teachers that you have to disclose to parents if a child has even thought about the idea that they might want to change their gender. They might be thinking about it. They might just be wanting to explore. You have to tell someone. As a youth worker, this is not okay. This law, if it comes in certain ways, is going to have all sorts of difficulties around youth work as well, and teachers being able to be safe, open spaces for young people to explore ideas and talk about their feelings more, and young people will become more recluse and not talk, leading to further mental health problems, further difficulties, and just a snowball effect. The issue with this, what pisses me off the most about this, Gillick Competency was there to help young people, and this new legislation that's going to come out, and it sounds like Sian Griffiths, you are going to be a fan of this, is breaching young people's rights to protect themselves. And don't get me wrong, professionals need to be able to know if a young person is competent enough. And in this particular news article, it was a 16-year-old with a diagnosis of autism, but the school seemed to believe that person was competent enough to be doing what they were doing. Don't get me wrong, there are much more ins and outs to this story, and there needs to be more communication with people. But ultimately, it's obviously something that is felt young people are able to talk about. Young people. Also, I want to point out that in the article you say that Gillick Competency was there to enable 16-year-olds to get contraception, which isn't the case. Gillick Competency is there to enable under 16-year-olds to get contraception, as long as they can prove that they're competent and mature enough mentally in order to know why they're getting that and have spoken to a GP. I used to work in that field and have given contraception to young people under 16. What you're referring to is the fact that any young person 16 plus has the right to confidential conversations with their GP, none of which has to go back to parents or guardians. So get your facts straight. Yeah, so that's the rant. This is dangerous territory for young people, and the concern is that if they are starting to tell teachers they have to disclose to parents if they are having a thought or conversation about gender change, gender transition, and what next? Are they going to have to start sharing everything about their religion, maybe about their political views, about their sexuality? This is just going to make young people talk less and less, and thus that only leads to worsening mental health. And so I just tread carefully, Times newspaper and Sian Griffiths, with this sort of article. This is not as clear and simple as you seem to think it is, in that parents should just know everything about their children and be involved in every single part of that. At this age, they're not. Children need to learn to be independent, and Gillick Competency ensures they are protected to search and seek support elsewhere. And it's up to us as professionals to recognise when and how and if other family members should be brought in to work on that. So that's it. That's rant over.